So there were a couple of cats having a fight outside my window the other night. And yeah, woo, it's here for fighting cats. And I looked out there, and one of them was doing the thing where it arches its back and it makes its fur stand up on end so it looks bigger. And I'm like, who's it trying to fool exactly? It's trying to fool another cat. How's that gonna work? It's like it should see through the charade. It's not like if I get into a fight, I can do this. Oh, that dude's huge. At first I thought he was tiny, but he's huge. I'm not tangling with him. So I fight a lot because I play hockey. I got into a fight last week, but we have to wear the full pads and the whole plastic face mask and thing. So the fight's just kind of like this. It's just a lot of... It's like fighting the boy in the bubble. You know, you can't even really know human contact. Can't tell what's going on. Halfway through, I'm all fogged up. I have to like being in prison. It's like a lot of glass in between us. I have to pick up the phone. It's like, hey, how are we doing? Are we still fighting? Yeah. What time do you get out? Yeah, great. Okay, I think we're done. So I don't fight with my girlfriend much. We actually just had our 6-month anniversary. Thank you. We decided to buy clothes for each other for an anniversary present. That was a terrible idea. I gave her my measurements, and for guys, we've got like 12 different measurements. There's like collar size, there's sleeve length, waist, inseam, crotch depth. It's like I had to give her like schematic blueprints on how to dress me. I built a desk last year that had fewer measurements. And then I asked her for her measurements, and she said 6. Like 6 what? Like just 6. Let me get this straight. There's some kind of a grand unification theory where they boil down all the shapes and curves on a woman into one number. And she's like, pretty much. Like, can we get scientists on this to figure this out for guys? Because we don't like shopping. And if you come up with one number for us to dress ourselves, you make like $1 billion. You walk into a store, and they'd be like, what size are you, sir? Oh, I'm an Omega. You're like, great, we've got a jumpsuit for you. It's one size fits all. If you're short, you just roll up the cuffs and it looks good. You're too tall, you make it's capri pants. It'll be great. So I'm in the store, and I'm trying to pick out the outfit, and the saleswoman's helping me, and she asked me, what's your girlfriend's bra size? And I said, 6. And she says, no, bras are measured in a different way. I said, 3 plus 3? She's like, no, I'm gonna need the band size and the cup size. I'm like, band size is quintet, and the cup size is tall. She says, don't you know your girlfriend's bra size? I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to know that? I can barely get it off. It's not like I'm taking notes. I'm like... So I gave up on getting clothes for her. Before I was walking out the door, she like had me come back, and she said, well, how does your girlfriend's bust compare to my bust? Favorably? It's a really awkward conversation. I figured any answer I had, somebody was going to end up getting hurt. I gave up. I went just to buy some clothes for myself. I was looking for a new pair of pants for me, so I went up to the men's section, and I got a pair of pants. I did the thing where you hold them up in front of you to see if they fit, kind of like you're a paper doll. It's really ineffective unless you have simulate wearing clothes day at work. Well, Bill, you look lovely in that suit. You hold it well. It's like going to Powell's and finding a book you like. Oh, I think I'm going to enjoy this one very much. Yes, this one's going to be very good. So I'm standing there, I'm holding the pants in front of me, trying to see how they work with my cool face, you know. And a woman comes up to me and she says, do you work here? I'm like, you're gonna have the worst customer service in the world if a guy standing there doing this screams employee of the month. So I said no, and then she gets grouchy at me like it's my fault that I don't work there. So now I feel guilty that I'm giving bad customer service for a job I don't even have. So the pants actually pretty much fit, but I needed to have them altered. So I took them up to the counter and they had me fill out a form with like the alteration instructions and name and phone number, and there was a line for emergency contact. Like, how's that conversation gonna go down? It's like, Mrs. Berkowitz, there's been a tailoring accident. The body was hemmed beyond recognition. Yes, we identified your son through his inseam length. No, it happens more often than you'd think. We actually have a term for it. It's a slapsident. So shopping always makes me tired and cranky. So I actually went up to the food court at the Lloyd Center. I went to a hot dog on a stick. Yeah, woo! I'd like to meet the marketing genius who came up with that name. Imagine the pitch meeting for that. Well, we did a focus group where we came up with 500 different names to describe your restaurant that serves a hot dog on a stick. And the name we came up with is Hot Dog on a Stick. Oh, you guys are geniuses! Thank goodness we hired the agency of two guys in a conference room. Like we had other names. We considered Stick Inside a Hot Dog. Didn't test well. I think all the other businesses in the mall should have names like that. You should, I'm going to go to Hamburger on a Bun. I could go for coffee in a cup. You go to Supercuts, it's just, I'm going to go get my hair cut at Blunt Scissors on my head. Oh, great. So, sorry, I just amused myself. So I am actually, I'm looking for a new job, and I went to one of those online job search sites, and it turns out you have to take a typing test no matter what job you're looking for, even if it's like rodeo clown, like stop bull, don't gore me. So I found out pretty quickly that the job I really want is to be the guy who writes the sentences for the typing test. You know, the ones that have all the letters in the alphabet? Yeah, the Algonquin zookeeper waffled before giving Viagra to the kangaroo. Quincy exhaled while undoing Velma's zipper with his hook. So it turns out that you can take the typing test as many times as you want, and it also turns out that they never changed the paragraph that you have to type. So it became a game to see how fast I could just copy it and paste it into the box and hit finished. So eventually I got up to typing 12,000 words per minute. And then they have you take this online personality test, and I figured, what the heck, I'm just going to answer all the questions wrong. So it's like, question 7, you discover one of your coworkers is stealing from the company. What do you do? C, drive the getaway car. So now I'm in their system as a sociopath who can type 12,000 words per minute. They're like, well, he's going to kill 19 of his coworkers, but he can type pretty fast, so let's bring him in. So about 2 days later, I got a call from a recruiter, but it was something they clearly outsourced off-seas because he had like one of those weird pseudo-American names. His name was Cornelius. Like he was calling me from the 19th century or Planet of the Apes. And he says, I could not help but notice that you typed the 12,000 words per minute. And I said, no, see, that's American words per minute. In metric, it's perfectly plausible. I didn't get that job. I actually almost died in my first job. It was in Alaska. Have you seen Deadliest Catch? Have you seen Deadliest Catch?
Woo!
Yeah, I worked in a gift shop. We sold the Ulu, which is this Eskimo knife. It's supposed to be the world's sharpest knife. It looks like something that Wesley Snipes would have used in the movie Blade if he was cutting a walrus into cubes. So I'm working there, and this giant Hell's Angel dude comes in, and he brings 2 Ulus up to the counter, and he sets them down, and he gives me his credit card, and I run his credit card, and he comes back with a code, and ordinarily that code is 00 for approved, but this day the code was 32, and I look down on the sheet of paper, and it says confiscate and destroy card. So I look at the Hell's Angel, and I look at the sheet, and I look at the Hell's Angel, and I look at the sheet, and now a rational person here would have probably like called the number on the back of the card or swiped it again. Instead, I took out a pair of scissors and looked the dude in the eyes and cut the card in half. And at this point he said a word that was so bad that I think it actually goosed me into puberty. And so now I know I need to fix this problem, but do I call the manager over? No. What I do is I take the 2 halves of the card, I push them back together, I take out a piece of tape, and I tape the card back together, as if this was some kind of a Boy Scout solution to the problem. As if he was going to be able to take this card and go to any kind of a business and exchange it for products and services. So at this point he says a word that is so bad I didn't learn the meaning of it until about the 3rd year in college. And so in retort, I look up at him and I say, would you like to choose another form of payment? as if he's going to hand me his wallet and allow me to cut the rest of his cards in half. So that was my last day working at Grizzly Gifts. They did take pity on me. They gave me a job in the little boutique hotel next door, working the front desk. My first day at that job, I sent a lovely young couple up to the honeymoon suite, and then about an hour later, sent another lovely young couple up to the same honeymoon suite. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.